Inside Out 2 as new characters inside Riley's mind. And altogether, some of them are designed in order to be closer to human shape. Other ones go a little further in that way. Can you talk about the process that brought you actually to do the decision about how to shape these different characters?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't work on the first film because I was finishing Ratatouille, and I had wanted to, and maybe it's a matter of taste, but my favorite ones from the first one, which we talked about in the art room, are Anger and Fear, just because they really live up to that push. They're the least human-like. Yeah, they still have mouths, they still have eyes for acting, and hands, so animators love to gesticulate with their hands. But just as a matter of taste, I liked that better, right? I just feel like their emotions, we shouldn't be too bound to human proportions. So I think my motivation to push that way was simply from that. I guess subjective, really. But I was just determined to try to do that with our new ones, and I feel like we did. Anxiety is maybe more of a puppet-looking thing than any of the other ones, so I feel like we were successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I follow your answer, which has been the most challenging character, not only just to find its own shape, but also in a span of time in order to develop from point A to point B, and it maybe changed completely or in a great way.
And not to sound like a broken record, but it was anxiety, and I'll explain myself. Besides trying to find a design that, remember I said they use all the colors in the crayon box? Also, there weren't any shapes left, kind of, too. So that was one problem. But more importantly, anxiety is an antagonist, but we're not trying to say that anxiety is bad. We all have anxiety is important. That's how we project potential dangers. It's only when anxiety is out of control in oneself that it can be somewhat pathological and bad for somebody. But so it's a delicate line to strike, right? We want her to play, in a way, the antagonist, but we don't want to send the message that there's something wrong with having anxiety. And so, don't want to make one-dimensional characters. Want to make complex characters that you understand. And so to strike that, I know the story had an issue, like trying to strike that balance where she, it wouldn't have made sense if one of Riley's emotions was trying to hurt Riley, right? It's like, why would you kill, if anxiety's in there, why would you hurt the thing you're in? So they had a problem. That was a delicate balance in story, and to do that in the design as well, to feel anxious, and so you just know what it is when you look at it, but still appealing, right? Because we don't want you to dislike anxiety, right? So I think it was challenging visually for that reason as well, And I feel like Deanna, we had every single character designer in the crew, and some of the sets people even tried it. It's kind of the way I like to work in the beginning, anyways. Bring everyone in, everyone takes a stab at it, and we just put them all up on the wall, and then director goes, I kind of like this direction, and then one artist takes it from there. But I took it for a while, and then we gave it to someone else. Okay, I'll wrap this up. So in case you have another question. Anyways, Deanna is the one that finally cracked it after, I think, a year and a half of trying, and it was hard. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Ish,
around there, yeah.
I'm actually curious because you also had to design characters in real life. Riley, she's 13. Her parents changed in some way.
Riley was hard, man, because it has to look like Riley.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, how do you find the balance between design real characters, so maybe in a slightly more realistic way, and find the visual balance with the inside world?
It's an interesting question, and I think I know how I think about it. Here's the way I'll put it to you: if we put these characters in The Incredibles, does that make sense to you? No. It's the subject matter, the story. The Incredibles is about superheroes. So those choices of caricature, chiseled, strong muscles, like if all the hockey players in this film look like Mr. Incredible, it doesn't make so like that helps you find that spot, right? Also the tonality of a film, right? So if it's very comedic and they're playing the animation is broad, having a super realistic design doesn't make sense, and vice versa as well, right? I'm a big believer in, if we're gonna make animation, if you want to make it look like real life, just make a live action film. Like we're making animation here. Like we can do that, So that's another. So we always skew towards the more exaggerated because we're making animation.
Is there maybe another animation movie or an artist, a painter? I don't know. You tell me that actually inspired you when you started thinking about how to work on Inside Out 2?
Well, my Ralph Eggleston, who, again, friend, mentor, production designed the first film and helped me while he was sick. Bless him for that. Obviously, I mean, these are his paintings right here. His style is very much exuded in Inside Out. So obviously him. But we looked at see, artist-wise, there's sort of like a mid-century modern. It's almost like Dan Holland is another artist who worked on the first one and worked a little bit on this one. Said it wasn't supposed to be like mid-century modern as if in the real world. It's like as if the emotions also had that design aesthetic to happen in their world, and it's like their take on mid-century thinking, and like so that was really helpful. I found just to look at that kind of art, because if you think of the headquarters, the swooping lines, even some of the outfits kind of have that period feeling to them, right? Like I'm looking at Fear right now. He looks like an accountant from the 50s,